Tonight, I am pleased to introduce our graduate commencement speaker, Jay Hardy, Vice President and General Manager of Centerra and North Park. Jay is charged with the general management of the largest master plan community in northern Colorado, as well as the newly branded North Park community in Broomfield, Colorado. Jay earned his bachelor degree from Colorado State University. Seeing the error of his ways, he earned his master's degree from the University of Northern Colorado. Please welcome Mr. Hardy.
Good evening, and the one thing that President Norton doesn't know is that I'm generally a smart aleck by trade, and if I didn't know that she didn't have the last shot at the podium here, I'd probably say something. But good evening and welcome, friends, family, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2011. And thank you for letting me join your party. It's an honor to be here on your special day, and thank you to President Norton, Chuck Leonard, as well as Dean Denise Battles. I also want to thank Dr. David Stotler, who was a great and outstanding mentor when I got to UNC, and I now consider him a good friend. As I thought about what I'd say this evening, a few things came very apparent to me. First, I don't have much advice to give, because I learned from many of you. And second, I don't have many answers, just a lot of questions. Like seriously, when I'm on FaceTime and my screen freezes, what the heck do I do? I've learned to call on my very bright teenage son, Jake, and he seems to always have the answer. But what I do know is that people inspire us. Maybe it's Steve Jobs, maybe it's Tim Tebow, or in the past, even Thomas Edison. They inspired us then and they inspire us now. Early in my career, I was blessed to have the opportunity to serve in many roles at the other university out west at Colorado State in the athletic department. And as marketing director, I had the opportunity to work closely with many coaches on different programs. I was particularly inspired by a young lady who played volleyball at Colorado State and came from a small Colorado school. She was hired as a work study, and specifically, her role was really quite simple. It was to assist the trainers, shag balls, set up nets. And as her second year rolled along, she wanted more. This player, standing all of about 5'3", wanted a tryout, and head coach Rich Feller was a bit short of players that spring, and so he let her play along. By the end of that spring, this young lady had made the team, and by her third year, she was traveling. By her fourth year and senior year, she was starting in the back row for a top 20 team. Her grit, determination, and drive were amazing to watch, and a joy to see her dream come true. She made that team not only better with her play, but the value of her inspiration was felt by all. So I ask you, the graduating class of 2011, who inspires you? As you move to the next step in your career, I challenge you to find a group of people that challenge and inspire you, and then spend a lot of time with them, because they will change your life. Tonight, as you begin to navigate the rest of your life, I challenge you to be open to the ideas of others, as they can often be much better ideas than your own. We must all be committed to collaborate. Almost 20 years ago today, which is a little bit frightening, I was sitting in your chair. We were in the midst of a recession, just like we are today. We breezed through airports without a thought of security, and we had our shoes on. We were just entering a war, and now, hopefully, we're exiting a war. Our parents lived through the polio epidemic, something my kids don't even know what that is. And now we encounter cancer as a generational challenge. Many things have changed, but through commitment and collaboration, each of these have and will become a thing of the past. I have a firm belief and a passion that we will see a cure for cancer in my children's lifetime. And maybe somebody in this room will play a large role in that cure. In order to be committed to collaboration, we must be accepting of one major thing, and that is a commitment that it is okay to make mistakes. And I can attest that it's important. I've made many of them. I'm reminded of a story when I was the son of my really cool 10-year-old son, Jared. the ripe age of 10, and a little bit easier to influence than I am today, a buddy of mine and I ventured into the dry weeds in the neighborhood in July of Boulder, Colorado, with a pocket full of matches. Anybody know where this is going? My friend then pronounced, "I'm a Boy Scout and I can put out any fire." Well, dumb enough to believe him, with assured valor we struck up a small pile of weeds into what would certainly be the most impressive fire of my career, complete with 1.5 acres burned, 2 fire trucks, a serious butt chewing from the fire chief, and amazingly, a father that understood that that lesson had been learned and nothing else needed to be said. Ironically, today, my buddy is a state representative here in Colorado, and I have been blessed more than I deserve with an amazing family and had the opportunity to work in this region for over 20 years on some really, really cool projects. I will tell you, it's really nice to have a nicely packaged story on a politician today. As you move forward tonight, I'd like to ask you to reflect for a moment. I want you to think to a time in your life, probably in your formative years, when you had a great memory. This was one of those unforgettable experiences and adventures. Maybe it was a camping trip or the first time you caught a fish. Maybe it was the magic of Disneyland the very first time. It was likely a time of fun, joy, and something very special about it. And parents, maybe that special time is tonight because you're thinking no more tuition. What I would guess is common about that experience for everyone is that you are not alone. You likely had your family, spouse, good friends with you. If I ask you how long you stayed there or how much money you spent, you couldn't recite that information because it wasn't important. It was truly that special. Well, education is like this. It is unique and it is special. Why? Think of all the things important in your life: your family, your job, your friends, your home. Ironically, all of these can be taken from us in an instant. But education is truly an investment that nobody can take away. But with education comes responsibility, and we have a responsibility to take that knowledge gained and put it into what I call transferred wisdom. And often transferred wisdom shows up when we don't expect it. One of the most influential transfers of wisdom for me occurred shortly after getting my degree here at UNC, and I had a chance to speak at the NACMA conference in Orlando, Florida. However, I was most interested in the fact that I had the opportunity to listen to the former CEO of Disney speak. And his topic was on management in an industry that at the time fascinated me. As he was introduced into this enormous ballroom in Orlando, it occurred with all the Disney flair. He was escorted by a marching band from a local college playing a Disney tune. They had indoor fireworks. A Disney character followed suit. Following a short introduction, he proceeded to share his philosophy of management. And as a young professional, I was all ears. Expecting to hear an inspiring display of management by objective or how to grow your business, how to grow your bottom line through goals, I found myself very disappointed. In management, he said, I have 2 rules, and those are, don't ever lie to me, and if you screw it up, fix it. I left a little bit deflated, but ironically, when asked today about how I manage, I use his words. These 2 words cover the basic rules and the issues that are important to me, and those are character, integrity, hard work, responsibility, and most importantly, honesty. When I look at somebody I respect, all of these attributes are present. A saying that I have shared many times, which I hold true and hold dearly from my father, is remember that when we go 6 feet under, the only thing on top of the ground is our name, and we should protect it with all of our might. Ironically, over the last 30 days, we've seen many highly esteemed individuals from Penn State, a sheriff's department here in Colorado, Syracuse University, and even presidential candidates fall from grace, and their name and reputation will never be the same. And in life, we have 3 names. We have the name we're given at birth, the name we're called by, and hopefully those are good names. And third, and most importantly, it is the name that you earn. And the one that you earn is where your reputation comes from. So I ask you tonight, What is your responsibility as a UNC graduate? What will you do with this opportunity? I would first and most importantly want to challenge you to step out and be a great friend. Be a great father, a great mother, or a great spouse. Learn to say, I don't know. Learn to say, I'll get back to you. And maybe for some of you, this will come in handy when your parents say, when are you moving out of the basement? You can quickly respond, I don't know. Let me get back to you. So as we look forward, what does success look like to you in 5 years? I'm guessing that your picture of success is related to today's great accomplishment of achieving your degree. Maybe it's a great job, a promotion, a more comfortable lifestyle, a great title, and a great organization. But let me challenge that for a minute. I believe that success at any point is about balance. Remember that great memory we discussed earlier? It wasn't about money. It wasn't about a job. It wasn't about a title. It was about the joy and happiness that we felt. And I would tell you that my greatest title today comes from my 7-year-old daughter, JoJo, and that is the title of Daddy. Remember, contrary to many things that we've learned, happiness does not come from things. In closing, I want to close this story by finishing the story of this 5'3" volleyball player. What I didn't tell you is that she had an infectious smile, and that I've been blessed and inspired by her for over 20 years now as my wife. And that small school that she was from, it was University High School right here on the UNC's campus at the time. Graduating class of 2011, your accomplishment tonight is outstanding. But remember, if you climb to the top of a mountain and you're there with nobody to share it with, you will gravely be disappointed. Thank you for letting me participate in your evening, and go Bears.